Hello everyone. Today we will start with first Minitab. So we'll try to do factor analysis in Minitab and we'll try to see a few interpretations of the same. We will use the same data, the Olympic correlation data. So have you used Minitab in semester 1? Have you seen Minitab in semester 1?
Ma'am, not in semester one, but we have used, I think, at least I and Rasika have used Minitab in our college
BSc, okay.
also. Yes, ma'am.
So others may not have used, right? Okay, so let me introduce you to the software first. So this is how Minitab looks like. There are two major components. This part is known as session window. So session window is where your commands get displayed.
Ma'am,
Sorry.
um,
Yes.
I guess we are not seeing your screen,
Oh,
maybe.
sorry. Okay. Can you see now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Not yet.
Yes, ma'am, we are.
Okay. Fine. Sorry. So this is how Minitab window looks like. There are two major components. This blank part is known as session window and this Excel type of sheet is known as worksheet. Okay. So whenever you import some data or you paste some data, it gets displayed in this worksheet, and whatever analysis you do, whatever commands you select. So here is a menu. So Minitab is menu driven software unlike R. So you can choose what you want to do from here. So maybe let us first start with some basic things in Minitab and then we'll go to factor analysis. So first thing you should do is when you open Minitab, the very first thing that you should do is keep your cursor in the session window. You can see my cursor here blinking. Then go to editor and then select enable commands. Okay, go to editor and select enable commands. So because after that you should get this prompt, mtb prompt. What is the reason behind doing this? Because of this, what happens is whatever commands you choose from these menus, they all get recorded here. Okay, as a result, when you want to maybe carry out similar analysis again, you will get to know exactly which commands you had used in even inside those commands, which options you had chosen, etc. Okay, so all such things would be easily visible if you have enabled commands. So first thing you should do is keep your cursor in the session window and then go and enable commands. So it should be ticked. Keeping your cursor in the session window is important. If your cursor is here in the worksheet, you won't even have that option. See, you have completely different option. Okay, because for worksheet you have different options in the same menu. Hence it is important that you keep your cursor here. Okay, so now let me right now for just for trial, let me get some random data set and try to do some basic analysis in Minitab. So open worksheet. So file, there are options new, open project. So generally what we do is saved as project, but right now I want to simply open a data set. I don't want to open a file which has already been used for some analysis, etc. I want to simply open a data set. So we will say open worksheet. In open worksheet you have an option, so which types of files you want. So if you want Minitab, then Excel, text, CSV, etc. Okay, so suppose I go for Excel. Okay, I myself don't know what this data is, but crabs. Let me try to open this crabs data. Okay, so crabs. So the data set is getting loaded in this current window. Okay, so you can see the variable names here. While saving, there is slightly a problem, so the variable names are shifted. So let me cut them and paste them here. Yeah, so this is species of the crab. I think there are different species, two species. Then sex, male, female. Index is the number given to that crab, serial number. This is also serial number column, so this I can delete. So like Excel, you can select the column and say delete cells. Okay, then FL, RW, CL, CW, BD. These are measurements. Okay, probably foot length, something like that. Okay, even I don't remember now where this data set is from, but I suppose this data set is from R, and these are some variables. So these are some measurements about crabs. You know crab, right? Khekda. Okay, so so this is how the data has been loaded, and you can see what has happened here. So worksheet open, so that's why you see W open here. Then from where it was opened, the path is also displayed here. So this is the benefit of having enabled commands. Otherwise all these things don't get recorded. Okay, when was the worksheet saved? Okay, so no wonder I don't remember, because it was saved quite a long back, 31st January 2019. Okay, then file type text, separator period, field tab. So this was tab delimited file, so that's why I said that it was probably exported from R. Okay, now I know I'm not going directly to factor analysis, but I realized just now that you have not had any introduction to Minitab. So I thought, I think in the last lecture, in the earlier thing, I directly talked about PCA using Minitab. So let us talk about few other things. Okay, so I have this data here. You can see here C1-T, C2-T, whereas for others you have just C3, C4, C5. These are column numbers, but this T indicates that this column is a text column. It is not a numerical column. Why? Because it has text data. Okay, so this is a text column. As a result, whenever you want to do some numerical calculations, this column won't be available to you. For example, if I go to stat, basic statistics, display descriptive statistics. So suppose I want to display descriptive statistics. Now see that species and sex, those columns are missing. Why? Because they are text columns, Minitab knows that you can't compute their mean, mode, median, variance, etc. So they are missing. So you cannot select them. So if I want to actually see the descriptive statistics, I should select maybe these columns where actual measurements are there. I am not going to select index, because index is just like a serial number for each crab. Okay, so I'm not going to do any analysis with that. I know this is very obvious, still I am stressing this point because I have seen many people doing analysis including the serial number in practicals. Okay, in fact in multivariate practicals itself. So if the data set has a column giving serial numbers, people simply forget that they are not supposed to consider serial numbers. They do analysis including the serial number column, and in fact sometimes they even write great interpretations like, you can see an increasing trend in column 1. Of course you are going to see an increasing trend in column 1 because it was serial number. Okay, so it is very 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 important, even though it seems trivial, that you delete the unnecessary variables, or at least don't include them in the analysis. Okay, now by variables. So here if you want to suppose see if these measurements are different for different species, or if these measurements are different for different sexes, then you can actually include that here. So for example species, then you will get mean, mode, median, etc. for each species separately. Okay, if you click statistics, you will see what all you can get. So mean, standard error of mean, standard deviation, coefficient of variation, sum I don't need, minimum maximum range suppose I don't need, n non-missing, n missing, n total, then first quartile, median, third quartile, mode, so skewness, kurtosis, so we can select whatever we want. Okay, and in graphs you can have histogram of data, you can have actually box plot of the data. Histogram may be with normal curve, you know, just to see if the data is normal. Wow. Okay, so see box plot of BD for these two species. So you can see that for species O, the measurements on BD are comparatively higher, correct? So such types of things, even though they are very trivial, but exploratory analysis should be an important part of any data analysis exercise that you do. Okay, that's very important. Okay, so histogram with normal curve. So this is for B species, this is for O species, both are measurements on BD. So you can see that it is not really very, I mean this is comparatively slightly better, but actually it's not very great normal. Okay, it's not that great, the fit is not that great. And if you want to save these graphs, you can either go here, right click and then copy graph, or send graph to Microsoft Word, or send graph to Microsoft PowerPoint, then it directly goes to a new PowerPoint file. See, okay, or you can copy and paste, that is also possible. You can directly print also, I think, yeah, print graph. So you can save it as, I mean if you have a printer you can print it, or you can save it as PDF by using something like print to PDF. Okay, and along with the graph they do give some basic statistics, and this is also one point you should always remember while analyzing data. Sometimes simply giving graph may not be advisable. You may want to put at least some important statistics. When I say statistics, I mean the something like numbers, descriptive statistics on the graph. Okay, for example, if you are drawing a frequency table like bar chart, then maybe you want to actually display the counts at the top of the bars, or like this you may want to display the mean, standard deviation, etc. So having such things is a very informative way. Okay, so fine. Okay, so descriptive statistics we have got here. See, so variable FL, mean for the species B is 14 point something, mean for species O is 17 point something, then you have minimum, maximum, range, etc. Okay, so even skewness, kurtosis have been recorded. Modes actually, Minitab's mode is not it's going by simply frequencies. So the values which are repeated maximum number of times are being reported as mode. So Minitab is actually not using the logic where you compute mode of a continuous data set by using first the modal class and then using the frequency of the earlier and the later class, etc. Okay, I think you must have done this in maybe BSc first year. Mode of a continuous data set. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So these are some descriptive statistics. Then you have other options like one sample Z test, one sample T test, two sample T test, paired T test, etc. Graphical summary also you can draw. Okay. Then box plot, interval plot. Interval plot is one good way of, oh sorry, why did I go to graph? Sorry. Then you have regression. You have many things in regression actually. Then you have ANOVA, one way, then two way, three way is also there. Test for equal variances, interval plot, main effects plot, interaction plot. So that way Minitab gives you a lot of options. You have DOE separately, the advanced DOE which you would learn in the next semester. Then control charts, you might have seen these in SQC or SPC. Then similar types of things, run chart, Pareto chart, etc., etc. Reliability survival is also there, warranty analysis, repairable systems analysis, accelerated life testing is also there. Then regression with live data. I had shared, last week I had shared some, what do I call, some assignment type of work which some interns are supposed to do. So that is actually going to be in the domain of accelerated life testing. So I had given you different temperatures. So by increasing the temperature, you are increasing the stress on that system, and that way you are forcing that system to fail early, because it is not possible for you to wait for the system to fail on its own. So there are systems which may run for, there are some electrical components which may have a life of say 60,000, 70,000 hours. So when you are manufacturing and you want to test the quality, etc., so you want to see the failure rate, you can't actually wait for 60,000 hours or 70,000 hours, because by that time, I mean, you can't spend this much time on testing. So you have to do accelerated testing. So what you do is you increase the stress. So if that component is normally supposed to run at say 40 degrees Celsius, you force it to run at 50 degrees Celsius. So that is like increasing stress. So it causes accelerated failure. So the failure occurs early. Then you can have some idea about the lifetime under that stress level, and then you use some equations to estimate lifetime under normal stress level using that. So that is actually what accelerated life testing is. Some of you might already be aware of it, but not everyone would be aware of it, so I thought I should mention. Okay, then where was I? Yeah. So all these good options are there. Now in multivariate we will see all these things. Then time series is also there, and then chi-square test, association, goodness of fit, non-parametric tests, Wilcoxon, Mann-Whitney, Kruskal-Wallis, etc. Power and sample size. So for all these tests, what should be your sample size if you want to detect a certain level of difference with certain level of significance, something like that, or with certain power. Okay. And then graphs, of course you have all types of graphs: bar, pie, time series, area, contour, 3D scatter plot, 3D surface plot. So for example, we can have a 3D surface plot for say these three variables: FL, RW, CL. Okay. Okay, not very interesting surface, but then you have these tools, you can rotate the graph. See, you can rotate the graph along each axis and see how does it look from every side, etc. Reverse rotate light around, so light also you can rotate. Okay, earlier I was rotating the graph, the surface, now I am rotating just the light from where the light is thrown, etc. Okay, so this is default. So all such graphs can be drawn. Then oh yeah, this is also important, change data type. So I showed you that C1 and C2 have T in front of them because they are text columns. So sometimes what happens is you can copy paste also. See, it is possible for you to copy paste data in Minitab from some other file. So if I open say this Excel file, I was in documents, right? Okay, so suppose I have okay, say this data I want to paste. So I can copy this data, paste this in Minitab. See, I have selected the column names. Suppose accidentally, instead of pasting here, I paste it here. Now what happens, because I have column names here, Minitab has made them as text columns even though they are numerical columns. Correct? So now you realize your mistake. So you cut this and you paste it here. So now it is saying some of the data were incompatible because it had now formatted those columns as text columns. Okay, so there would be some problems. Okay, so in such cases, if you want to forcefully change the data type, you can go to data, change data type, and convert column to from numeric to text, or from numeric to date time to numeric, etc. Then you can also subset worksheet. So if you want to analyze only for, say, species B, then you can say specify which rows to include. So rows where species is equal to, and then you write the value B. So I think you may have to put in quotes. I think 1 equal to should suffice. No. Double quotes. Use double quotes to enclose a text string. It is telling me, and I am not listening. See, it has created new subset where only species B is there. So such things are possible in Minitab. I don't know, you may not have free access, but there is a 1-month trial version which you can download and try to do all these things. Okay, so sorting, ranking, unstacking columns. So unstacking columns would split the data from one or more columns into separate columns according to values in another column. Okay, so all these things you should explore. That way Minitab is an interesting software and very easy to handle. You don't really need a formal training in it. You can simply play around and get many things. Okay, so let me come to factor analysis. As I said, we will do the factor analysis on the correlation matrix. So let me remove this. Yeah, so I have a blank worksheet here. I want that Olympic correlation matrix to be imported in Minitab first. So I'll say matrices. I'll go to matrices. So calci matrices read. How many rows, how many columns? Does anyone remember number of variables? One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 rows, 10 columns. So 10 rows, 10 columns. We can give name to the matrix, say M1. Read from keyboard or read from file. We don't want to type so many values, so we will say read from file. Now we have to specify the file. So file type, I have txt file. So olympiccore.txt. So it is showing me 10 rows read. Okay, 10 rows read. So if I print the matrix, I can see that whether it has been read correctly. See. Okay, so for printing you have to actually write print M1. Print, and whatever is the name of that matrix, M1. Now I have to do factor analysis. So I go to stat, multivariate, factor analysis. Then I don't have variable because I don't have data yet. I have to carry out factor analysis directly using the correlation matrix. So I go to option, matrix to factor correlation, source of matrix, use this matrix M1. Okay, then right now no rotation. Suppose we want to extract 4 factors. Many of these graphs may not be visible with simply the matrix without data, but let me try. Yeah, so for plots you need actual data, so plots won't be possible here. That is fine. You can manually draw the plots later, or we can see some other data. See, it did something. Factor analysis, number of factors 4, correlation matrix is M1. So it gave us loadings and then commonalities. From commonalities you can of course compute specific variances, and this is percentage variation explained by each factor. Okay, and these are factor score coefficients. What do I mean by factor score coefficients? If I want to write equation for factor 1, or if I want to actually compute factor 1 scores for individual observations, these are the coefficients that I should use. But of course, please remember that we have carried out factor analysis using correlation matrix. So I cannot directly put values of my variables. I have to first standardize every column. Okay, so that things are in the same unit. Basically, they are unitless and they can be added. Okay.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, actually, I have one question.
Yes.
That how many factors we will be considering, ma'am? That is, matlab, who is deciding that actually?
One criterion is the degrees of freedom. We should go for the number of factors that are allowed by the degrees of freedom. Allowed means what? That you should not have a unique solution. You should have an approximate solution. Okay, so what is the case in d greater than 0 or d less than 0?
Okay.
So that is one rule of thumb criterion. But people do try with higher number of factors also. So in PCA also, when you have different variables, and if you want to compute scores, we should go for standardized data first and then use the factor score coefficients or PC score coefficients. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Because otherwise things are not additive. If they are in different units, you can't add them. Okay. So same thing here. Here factor score coefficients are given, but that doesn't mean you should simply add 0.165 times x1 plus 0.188 times x2. You should add 0.165 times standardized x1 plus 0.188 times standardized x2. Standardized means centered and scaled. Subtract.
Yes.
You have to subtract mean and you have to divide by standard deviation. Okay. Okay, so this is how you compute factor scores, and right now you can't see the graphs, so let me import that CRAB data again, and then we will see the graphs and how to interpret them. Okay, so let me carry out factor analysis on this. Of course, I will ignore the. I need to change the names first. My names should start from here. This is my serial number column. Okay, yeah. So, of course, I am going to ignore the first 3 columns as of now. By the way, this is a recent edit last dialog, so the most recent dialog box would get directly opened if you click here. So these are the variables that I want. Number of factors, okay, let me keep 4. Principal component method. Rotation, we won't do anything right now. Now we don't know whether they are in the same units. Let us assume that they are in the same units and go for covariance matrix. And then source of the matrix, we have to compute the matrix from variables, because that M1 was for the other data set. So we are not going to use that. And now let us see all the graphs. Scree plot, score plot, loading plot, biplot. Okay. Okay, so loading plot tells me which variables are closer to each other. So CL, CW are highly correlated. Compared to that, CL, RW are almost not correlated. And let me try giving colors by species or by sex. So I can select one of these points, then double click, then I'll get an option to create groups. So I'll create groups by species. Okay, so you can see that the species O has comparatively higher values on both the factors, first factor as well as second factors. More of the values are in first and fourth quadrant, and then here also. Okay, so very few values in the third quadrant. Then this is Cree plot, which you know. Okay, so this is how this loading plot. Biplot is again similar to PC, but somehow in Minitab you can't give color to points in biplot. But biplot, you know, is a combination of score plot and loading plot. Okay, it's plotting both the things together. I think I did mention biplot while discussing PCA, case study in PCA. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
So this is how factor analysis can be done in Minitab, and we can see all the commonalities. From commonalities we can compute specific variances. If it is based on covariance matrix, you will have to compute covariances first, basically variances first, for computing specific variances. So you can either go to this correlation matrix or covariance matrix, so you will get an entire matrix. And if you are doing factor analysis on the basis of correlation matrix, then specific variance would be simply 1 minus the commonalities. Okay, thank you.